it's Valentine and you're watching another Supernatural review, and this is season 7, episode 15, Repo Man. If you're new here, I do a recap and review every single episode of Supernatural, so let's get into it. I think this is like the worst Supernatural episode ever. It was so bad. I think it's like worse than Bugs. Like I've never rewatched this episode before, but I always like slightly remembered it. Like it was something like I remember my first time watching it, I was like, I need to forget this episode immediately. And like a part of me kind of did, but like it was like something that's like, you know, a traumatic experience. It's like you try to forget it, but it's a little bit like in the back of your mind. Like it's like literally this episode is like a traumatic experience. I know I shouldn't be laughing and smiling when I say that, but like it's crazy. I can't believe Supernatural did this as an episode. I don't even know where to start. And I think it's just like the idea is bad. Like I don't know if you want to get more into the technical, like, you know, is the writing about it bad or like whatever. It's just like the idea and then the things they do in this episode. I think the hardest thing is like when he kills the dog. And like the episode started, and because again, like I try to forget this episode, like I was like, I don't really remember this episode, like all this stuff. And when the guy like got the dog in the episode, I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be that episode where he kills a dog. And I feel like that's the only thing I actually remembered. Like not like the demon thing too, which is also we'll talk about, but like the killing of the dog and whatever he did with the dog. I was like looking away because I was like, oh my god, not because I'm scared, because I was like, this is traumatic. So it's interesting that like that's the thing I remember is the most traumatic thing in this episode. But yeah, the idea overall is just really bad. Like I don't know why the writers said it was a good idea to have like it be like someone's trying to summon a demon back, and it's something where like he's actually a serial killer himself and he was trying to get the demon back. Like I don't know. I feel like now that I'm saying it, like could be a cool idea, I guess, with like someone who's a serial killer and then is kind of using a demon to help that. I don't really know. I feel like they could have helped the idea more, because it's like little point of the idea is actually good, but the idea itself of what they did was so bad. And then like it was just like, who decided this idea was okay? It's also something too where they were like trying to show flashback scenes of like when they let this demon go, which again, like we never saw this before. It's not like a demon we saw before, and so it's something where also they look now, like if it was supposed to be like season 4 or something 3 years ago, like Sam's hair changed a lot. Like Sam's hair changes a lot in the season. Like it doesn't, or the season's gone, like it doesn't work. But yeah, the idea was just like, and then he was like dancing with the demon at one point. Like I don't know why the writers thought this was okay to do as an episode. Why did I even read the episode and was like, why they didn't, like, even if they like filmed the episode, why they didn't be like, we can't put this on air? Like I just don't know. Does anyone actually like this episode? It's like a traumatic experience watching this episode. I don't know if it's the writers being like, we haven't had a demon episode in a while, so let's do a demon episode, and this was the idea that either they came up with or they had like kind of always like on their list of like potential ideas. But I just feel like, you know, in the past, like I've kind of been critical of demons episodes. Like there's only so much you can do with demons, I guess. And I feel like demon episodes, especially when it's just centered on demons, like they're not that strong. Like even season 7, Time for a Wedding, was a demon and it wasn't that strong. And I think that kind of hurt that episode because it was a demon rather than like a witch or something. And I just feel like I don't know why they thought this was an episode. Like I'd rather have like a very serialized Leviathan episode, like whatever it is. But they did this. So I'm gonna try my best to like forget this episode ever happened. And again, I'm sorry I'm made you guys watch it and reviewing it here, but I guess like clearly they let this episode go to air, so I'm doing a review on it. And I'm not gonna, I guess, skip a review because I don't know, like let me know what you guys think. Like am I crazy for like being traumatized by this episode? Like it's just I don't know what the writers were going with here. Like what was the point of this episode? I don't get it. Anyway, I'm gonna end it here, but thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and bye. Okay, it's late at night and I'm kind of drunk and I'm eating ice cream, but I just remembered another fact, and that is Sam
like is all of a sudden like in this episode like seeing Lucifer again, and it's something that like I remembered. Like there's this whole thing with Lucifer this season, but I kind of forgot about it because like he hadn't seen Lucifer in a while, and like all of a sudden came back and it wasn't something like it was like, you know, even sprinkled in the last episode. Like it all of a sudden came back this episode. It was so random. It was so random. It came back this episode. So I think that even made the episode even worse. And I completely forgot about that too. That was something that happened this episode. Okay, go back to my ice cream.